Hello family, I'm Robert. I'm a real alcoholic.
Hey, Robert.
I want to welcome everyone to the Atlanta Stepper Society book study. The name of our book study is Change Your Thinking, Change Your Life. And I like to say, change your thinking, Robert, and watch your life change. Let's open with a moment of silence followed by the serenity prayer. Serenity prayer. God, grant me the serenity to accept the things I cannot change, the courage to change the things that I can, and the wisdom to know the difference. We're on the ninth step. The ninth step. And that's a very important step. The ninth step deals with us reuniting with society. Having done the work ourselves that got us up to this point, now we must go back into the lives of the people that we had damaged and make amends to. And it's a process that's a lifelong process. It's not just okay just to go back to your family and say, I'm sorry for what I did, and then let that be it. You must make behavior changes in your family. You must start to have living amends. That's what I like to call it. Living amends. I start to become the amends. I start to live them. I'm a father, and if I did wrong to my daughters, I'm not just going to go back and say I'm sorry for what I did, but from that point on, I'm going to start becoming a father again. And a grandfather. I learned how to become a father. So amends are really a living amends. And we do the amends from the 8-step list. We have a list of who we're going to do amends to now, later, maybe, and never. And we've been working on my little short list for the last 2 weeks. So now I'm at the maybe list, which is really my now list. Because I have finished the now list, the later list, so my maybe list becomes my now list. And my never list will one day become my now list. So what we want to do is keep in mind that the book gives us a lot of different scenarios on how to make amends. They break down the different type of amends that that's kind of common to us, and they give us examples of how to do it. But one thing that I like to go back, and you don't have to go with me in the pages, to remind ourselves that these are kind of like golden rules or rules. On page 79, it says, now this is what I did, and this is what I recommend or make a suggestion to. Every time you get ready to go and do a certain type of amend for the first time, you go back and read these. Up there where it says on page 79, although these reparations take innumerable forms, there are some general principles which we find guiding. Number one, reminding ourselves that we have decided to go to any length to find a spiritual experience. So I have to go to any length when I'm doing a financial man or a personal man or a family man or I don't know, an enemy man. I have to remind myself that I will go to any length to find a spiritual experience inside that amend. Kind of like Noah had to go to any length to find some kind of spiritual experience in the issue with the ark. So we have to find or look for something spiritual, a miracle or something while we're doing this amend. I'm not there to please my ego. I'm not there because I just want to feel better about myself and put someone else down. I'm looking for something specific while I'm doing the amend. Something spiritual. That's number one. Two, we ask that we be given strength and direction to do the right thing, no matter what the personal consequences may be. Sometimes we are faced in situations where we might have to go to jail. But it does not matter. We go in there looking for the spiritual experience, and we ask for strength from God and direction, no matter what the personal consequences might be. I've seen a lot of people, including myself, go into places knowing that I owed the folks money, and get there and they give me grace and make amends to me on the money. To me, that's a miracle. All right, and it also gave me an opportunity to know that God was with me. I started to have like living experiences, knowing that God is really with me. Because the only person could have made this person pay me when I owed them was God. No other human power could have done that, even to change their mind. And it said that we may lose our position or reputation or face jail, but we are willing. We have to be. We must not shrink at anything. So what we're saying here is that it's going to take a lot of perseverance, a lot of doing the right thing to make these amends. You must not be afraid of making amends. If you have to go to jail, go. I know what it's like to have guys come up that's facing jail. They go downtown and they speak to me or someone on the staff before they get ready to go down and turn themselves in. And I say, well, this is my experience. I only tell them my experience. My experience is, if you let us write a letter to the judge or to the probation or whatever, explaining to them that you are in the Atlanta Step-Up Society treatment facility, that you have been clean such amount of months or year, that you're doing an excellent job, that we have monitored you, giving you a urinalysis, alcohol and drug test every other week for the last 6 months. You're attending meetings. We got all your meeting schedules up here. You know, they be a little wrinkly and raggedy, you know what I'm trying to say? We scan them. And they looking at them, they ain't gonna be able to understand what it is anyway. But it's a lot of it. See, it's about quantity now.
That's right.
We show them all them meeting sheets that y'all don't like to turn in, that y'all want to skip on. They might be rewarding if you just go to meetings. We turn all this stuff in. We walk that stuff down to the judge. We have somebody go with you. You might be facing 6 months. When you go down there with all this presentation, have someone from our staff go down there with you, the judge, 9 times out of 10, I'm not going to say this is always, but he scratches his head. I don't see it happen. And he asks himself one question. Would jail benefit this person, or would he, if he stayed in this treatment facility that he's doing so well, is that more beneficial for society? They say, go back to the step up, and then they make some kind of arrangement for you to be court ordered or stay a little longer. Your jail sentence has been knocked out the ball. That's a spiritual experience. But if you run it in fear, don't think we don't know what you got. Her pathway gonna tell it. You ever clicked in anybody's treatment center, you on pathways. You ever went to Greater or any hospital because you too drunk or appears positive, you in the system. So you're only fooling yourself. You bet. So to me, that's making amends, but if you shrink from it, you're afraid to do it, you're never going to get that reward. That makes sense? Let's turn to page 8. We're going to change the subject a little tonight on making amends. We're going to do domestic amends. Sex for non-domestic people. Alright? Down at the bottom where it says the chances are that we have domestic problems. Let's go.
The chances are that we had domestic troubles. Perhaps we are mixed up with women in a fashion we wouldn't care to have advertised. We doubt if, in this respect, alcoholics are fundamentally much worse than other people. But drinking does complicate sex relations in the home. After a few years with an alcoholic, the wife gets worn out, resentful, and uncommunicative. How can she be anything else? The husband begins to feel lonely, sorry for himself, commencing to look around the nightclubs or their equivalent for something besides liquor. Perhaps he has a secret and exciting affair with the girl who understands. In fairness, we must say that she may understand, but what we are going to do about a thing like that. A man so involved often feels very remorseful at times, especially if he is married to a loyal and courageous girl who has literally gone through hell for him.
Here's the deal. The chances are that we have domestic trouble. And this goes for both sexes. All right? Perhaps we are mixed up with women or men in a fashion we wouldn't care to have advertised. We have a little secret thing going on. What's the word? Be discreet. That's the word, discreet. We doubt if, in this respect, alcoholics are fundamentally much worse than other people. On page 69, you don't have to go there. I'm going to go back and just read it. It says that we all have sex problems. They're talking about everybody. And I just want to say that if you're not having what I call that physical sex and that mental sex problem, I think everybody has sex problems. You know, I read I kind of agree with the book. I read about the priest who used to cut their private parts off because they didn't want to have sexual relations with the congregation and the women. You know, they want to be sex free. But soon they cut it off, their mind, imagination went wild. So mentally, they were still doing it. So they still had troubles. Alright? I hear people talking all the time, well, I'm not cheating, but they texting all over the world. Sex stuff. People are not cheating, but they're on the internet. Pornography. This sex is all over the place. So I'm not going to even sit here and say nobody better than anybody else. I think everybody got some kind of sex problem, or you wouldn't be human. Alright? It says, but drinking does complicate sex relations in the home. After a few years with an alcoholic, a wife gets worn out, resentful, and uncommunicative. She needs some 12-step too. That's the way I see it. If you live 2-3 years with me when I was using, you need the 12-step also. Because you just as sick as I am. I can tell you that. You know, you just as sick as I am. It says, how can she be anything else? The husband begins to feel lonely, sorry for himself. He commences to look around in the nightclubs or their equivalent for something besides liquor. Maybe he's looking for something that go along with liquor. You know, I might have to disagree a little bit. Liquor always gonna be number one. You know what I'm trying to say? Liquor and something else. But they said something besides liquor. They are including liquor. They're not excluding. So they know we're in there to look for liquor. Alright. Perhaps he's having a secret and exciting affair with the girl who understands. In fairness, we must say that she may understand. But what are we going to do about a thing like that? Alright, I'm going to stop there for 1 second. Because they use the word resentment or resentful. And I just want to do a little experiment. Because every time I see the word resentment, I've done so much work on resentments. So much work. Not only resentment. You know, when you have grievances or grudges, it's not only resentment. It's that complaining too. That backbiting too. That talking about other people behind their back. That has a lot to do with grievances. It's just not, you know what I'm talking about, the anger that you have toward a person. It's other flavors of it too. And what happens is, once you have that, once that a part of you, it blocks you from the Spirit of God. It blocks you from you. Because God's inside in me. It blocks me from being me. And that's why I spend a lot of time on resentments and stuff. You cannot be happy with resentments toward other people, or complaining about stuff all the time, or worrying about everything else. Let me do a little experiment. Come here on Steve and Charles. Now I just want one stand here and one stand there. I'm gonna stand in the middle. One right here, one right there. If I have a resentment, or I have a problem about him, let's say I came to work this morning and both of these guys were here, and I got a resentment against him, I'm pissed off at him, and I need to, hell this in me, and I'm worrying about this resentment. I'm carrying this mental resentment against him. And at the same time, I have a grievance against him. I'm complaining about y'all. I'm worried about him. I don't think he's working up to par. It ain't my job, my company. I'm not paying him, but I don't think he's doing his fair share of work. I don't think he's doing it. That's two people right there. The energy that I'm spending on him and the energy that I'm spending on him is taken away from me. I gave these guys permission in my own mind and my own mentality to control me. Now that's just two. Let me add 4 more. There is no me. God dwells in me. God is the peace, the happiness, the abundance, the creativity is in me. All things reside in my imagination, but I have no time to use it because I'm defocused on these guys. All right, thank y'all. That's what this thing is about. That's what it's about. And if you don't know how it don't affect me, you unthinking. You're a fool. Harboring resentment like you somebody big. Oh, I got it going on. I'm John Wayne. Now you the fool, Wayne. Because it's your ego that got you pushed away from yourself. By thinking resentment is good. Oh, resentment, I'm unloud, I'm entitled. No, you're not. That's what the book knocks that straight out the box. It tells you, it blocks you from the Spirit of God. Now, if you want to be good with it, if you really want to be a good resentment holder, why don't you hold one against God? Put him out there with them too. You got him anyway. Put him on the list. He can be right there between Charles and have a resentment against everything. The whole world. You can be resentment against the whole world. Resentful. The little bird fly by. Oh, I don't like that bird. It's a pigeon instead of a sparrow. Your choice. Let's get back to this. That's how the wife was feeling worn out, resentful, and uncommunicative. That's a bad position for her to be in. That makes sense? Because now, I'm not saying she didn't deserve that. She didn't deserve that. But she got in that position because of us being alcoholics and addicts around her.
Yeah, right.
The alcohol, our disease has the power to take away other people's spiritual program. A man so involved, and if you go out to the club, you quite naturally going to find somebody that understands your drunkenness. That's easy to do. We don't even have to elaborate on that. Especially if you got a little money or something like that, they're going to quickly understand what you're talking about. You know what I mean? Or they looking for a free drink. That's easy. Alright. A man so involved often feels very remorseful at times. If he got a woman that put up, is married to and loyal to and put up with that, or someone else got a good man at home and he put up with your drunkenness and went to the hospital with you and took care of your kids when you out there doing what you doing, or the opposite, you know what I'm trying to say? And you do this, you will feel sad about it. You will feel remorseful. That's just the bottom line. You know what I'm saying? At times, they say. The other time, you going out the house pissed off, ain't nothing for the change that way. All right, let's do the next paragraph.
Whatever the situation, we usually have to do something about it. If we are sure our wife does not know, should we tell her? Not always, we think. If she knows in a general way that we have been wild, should we tell her in detail? Undoubtedly, we should admit our fault. She may insist of knowing all the particulars. She will want to know who the woman is and where she is. We feel we ought to say to her that we have no right to involve another person. We are sorry for what we have done, and God willing, it shall not be repeated. More than that, we cannot do. We have no right to go further. Though there may be justifiable exceptions, and though we wish to lay down no rule of any sort, we have often found this the best course to take.
It says, whatever the situation, we usually have to do something about it. If we are sure our wife does not know, should we tell her? We're talking about making amends. Now, I'm going to do what the book tells me to do. On page 69, it says, stay out of other people's domestic affairs, in so many words. Stay out of it. I'm not going to tell you what to do. But if I got away with it, and I plan on not doing it no more, ain't nobody finna know at home. That's just common sense. No, I'm making amends. But I really don't want to have other people resentful and jealous because of what I done. Let me just cut it off right now and go clean slate and try to live better and be a better husband and a father. That's just me. You know, that's just me. It says, are we sure our wife does not know, should we tell her? Not always, we think. If she knows in a general way, and I'm going to be honest with you, I kind of believe in this female intuition. They already know. They just waiting to beat your ass up with it. They already know. So I'm going to let bygone be bygone and just correct my action from this point on. That's just me. But you don't have to do it like that. You can get butt naked honest if you want to. That's why I'm staying out of it. If she knows in a general way that we have been wild, should we tell her in detail? Undoubtedly, we should admit our fault. She may insist, now here where it gets deeper. She may insist on knowing all the particulars. She would want to know who the woman is and where she is. And to me, that sounds like a fight. You know, that's the neck bobbing finna happen. You know what I'm saying? Taking the shoes off and the earring coming off. That's what that sounds like to me. I ain't finna do it. We are sorry for what we have done, and God willing, it should not be repeated. That's where I need to be. I don't want nobody. If I'm trying to make amends and I'm trying to stay happy, I'm not trying to be, you know, trying to get rid of my resentment. Why I want to give someone else some resentment?
That's right.
That's not my style. That's just not my style. That's not my style. I ain't trying to unload my crap so you can be messed up. Alright? So there may be justifiable exceptions, and though we wish to lay down no rule of any sort, we have often found this the best course to take. Just pray to God and try not to do it no more. That's the best course to take. Don't give out too much information unless you have to. Because you already, information today is not the same when they wrote their book. Give out that telephone number you want to. You know, I know some guys, you know, one guy in particular, he messed up. But his wife was real smart. He had a phone and she couldn't get into it. She went down and told the people, well, I don't want to do this, but I have to, that he had died. He's dead. She need the phone records for the court. He was sitting in the car. He didn't know what. He had no clue. And then it, boom. You understand what I'm saying? So my thing is that helping the marriage, or is it going to destroy it and make it worse? Probably make it worse. So just be real careful, you know. What you dig for, you're going to find.
That's right.
But you don't know you finding resentments and jealousy and anger. You don't know all that. Then once it hit, then now you got worse. You're in a worse position than you was from the beginning. Alright, next one.
Our design for living is not a one-way street. It is as good for the wife as for the husband. If we can forget, so can she. It is better, however, that one does not needlessly name a person upon whom she can vent jealousy.
Alright, that's the same thing I'm just talking about, right?
Right.
But here it is. Our design for living is not a one-way street. We're talking about the design for living is the 12 steps of Alcoholics Anonymous. This spiritual program that we have. It's a design for living. Most of us didn't have a design for living. We had a design for nothing. Alright? No design, no map, no plan for nothing. Just living in complete darkness. Now we have the 12 steps that gives us a tool for a spiritual way of life. And it says it is as good for the wife as for the husband. Both of them need the 12 steps. Both parties need the 12 steps. It's good for the wife as it is for the husband. I used to teach this same book study in a place not too far from here. And our group used to start like at 7 o'clock. And it was a family group with husband and wives down the hall, and they started at 6:30. But we went from 7 to 8:30, an hour and a half. And they would start at 6:30 and get out at 7:30. And they would hear me in there loud like this, and everybody laughing, and it was like the doors were open, and they could hear this down the hallway. So what they start doing is after this, when that group got out at 7:30, they would come in our group for another hour. So we would have to put like 40 chairs in the back behind the regular group, and 40 people would pile in there. And we were doing the book study. And week after week, every week, 40 more people would join in at 7:30. It would be 80 people in there now. And I was doing the book study, and I started noticing over a few weeks or something, you know, the husband and wife used to come together. But when we started getting to the step part and working on the steps, I realized there were more wives in the back than husbands. The husband were relapsing. They were the alcoholic. And the wives were staying to do the spiritual program. They would stay and the husband be gone. And then, you know, as the group out there started knowing the way the husband, I ain't seen him in a month. What's such and such? Oh, he out there using. I said, well, why you here? Because I like y'all program. It's helping me. That's what they would tell me. If it helps a non-alcoholic, I don't understand how you can come into your own program and don't do it. I have no clue how that happens. Yes, my name is such and such. I'm an alcoholic. Let me tell y'all what what I'm doing on the job today. I went to work and Robert was there and he went to fussing and arguing. Let me share about Robert. He been here a year. After a year, I go to the meeting. Oh, my name is such and such. I'm an alcoholic, recovering alcoholic. Let me tell you about Robert. I see him 5 years. They make it. I know they ain't gonna make it. 5 years from there. I'm gonna clean till they got there picked up 30-day chip. But they saw me. They go to share. Boy, let me tell you what Robert did 5 years ago. Oh my God. No spiritual program. They ain't on no street. They still in the woods. It is better, however, that one does not needlessly name a person upon whom she can vent jealousy. I was thinking about this, or anger. I was thinking about this when I have seen Jerry Springer. Maui, them shows like that. And I can honestly tell you, I have not seen one case when they were cheating. And they bring them out. Now they got bodyguards, you know. They bring them out there, and when they first find out who did what, because they do it, they had a little screen up there and they grinning on TV, you know. And they tell all this stuff, right? And I see them run down, some of them run out that back room on the floor and go to whooping ass. But I never seen not one case when they did find out who cheated on who, you know, mother with son and a daughter and all this kind of stuff. people in the trailer park with other people in the trailer park. When all this is going on, I have never seen a case where somebody run down there and hug and say, I'm sorry. And they just all hug from the beginning. After they kind of coach them to it, at the end, they try to make amends or something. But in the beginning, it was nothing but scrapping. Nothing but scrapping. If they could have probably resolved that at home, changed, made amends, didn't tell who did what, put God in their life, and not did that, they didn't have to be on Jerry Show. We wouldn't have a Jerry Springer show. But the show is popular. Because they don't follow these instructions. They do it the opposite. Tell them, and let them know, tell them. Then they go ahead and start beating each other. Alright, the next one.
Perhaps there are some cases where the utmost frankness is demanded. No outsider can appraise such an intimate situation. It may be that both will decide that the way of good sense and loving kindness is to let bygones be bygones. Each might pray about it, having the other one's happiness utmost in mind. Keep it always in sight that we are dealing with that most terrible human emotion, jealousy. Good generalship may decide that the problem be attacked on the flank rather than risk a face-to-face combat.
Alright. Perhaps there are some cases where the utmost frankness, that means open, direct honesty, but this honesty is demanded. You might be in therapy or something and you have to get honest. And if that be the case, you have to do it. No outsider can appraise such an intimate situation. And that goes with, like if you're in therapy or something like that, and when I think about no outsider can appraise such an intimate situation, I think about family members. You know what I'm saying? You get in a situation, you and your wife, or you and your husband, and if it have family problems or something like that, and you go into therapy, you gotta listen to the therapist too, and try to make it. But you got also all the outside family whispering in your ear too, especially on the females. Oh, they be yapping. I know. I done been there. They're yapping. And all the stuff that they saying ain't what you want to hear. Leave his ass. You know what I'm saying? Stay. You hear all that stuff. You ain't stupid. You hear all that. So I think it's very important on this one right here where it says no outsider can appraise such an intimate situation. I try my best to stay out of family situations. If I don't have, it's not one family that I ever seen that I've been intimately close to, a cousin, family, or friends or something like that, where they got through squeaky clean without some kind of family problem. I never seen one yet. Not one. Not one perfect family. So I know within myself, it's a smart thing just to stay out of it, period. Because I don't like being enmeshed in other people's problems. I don't like that. You don't drill me in and throw me in your pond. I'm not ready to swim there. I don't like being enmeshed in people's stuff. I believe that you can work it out. I can give you, if I can't say nothing good about it, I don't want to say nothing about it anyway. I just walk away. That's just me though. But I don't think nothing good is worthwhile. I was talking about something. There's already a negative situation. What is my negative input going to do for it? Is it going to improve? Too negative? I don't think so. So the best thing is stay quiet. Somebody asks me a question, I give them my experience and how I got out of it, and I keep on stepping. Alright. It said it may be that both will decide that the way of good sense and loving kindness is to let bygones be bygones. To me, that's a mature state of consciousness or psyche. To say, okay, and and 9 times out of 10, since we're dealing with grown-ups and we're dealing with situations, if you took a frank look at it, like they say, frankness, and look at any situation, 9 times out of 10, for me, if a man cheated on a woman or the woman cheated on a man, that might be the scenario right then and there. But if they would go back through their life, somewhere down the line, they done did the same thing too. It might not be then. You understand what I'm saying? It might not be in that one scenario right then and there, but I don't think nobody, because they say all of us have problems, I don't think it's squeaky clean. I don't think nobody go from 16 to 50 and ain't been no cheater. In one form or another. Well, girlfriend, boyfriend, or your cousin, boyfriend, and you don't slept with them. Jerry Springer right about that one though. I don't believe it. I don't believe you just squeaky clean. So you might be pissed off now, but if you took a good look at your life, you was gonna did that same thing too. Alright. It said that each might pray about it, having the other one's happiness uppermost in mind. You know, let's talk about happiness for a minute. It's very important, especially in recovery, that we learn, or I learn, I can't speak for no one else, to learn to be happy all the time. Which is going to create most of the time. But I have to tell myself sometimes, no matter what, I'm going to keep this happiness in me. No matter what's going on, it look like the bills ain't going to be able to be paid, I'm not going to be sad about it. I'm going to maintain happiness. If tragedies happen, I'm not going to be sad about it. I'm going to stay happy and at peace. I think happiness is not something that you go out and try to accomplish. I don't think I can get happy from situations outside of me anyway. Happiness is something I create in me. The peace I create in me. If I had to look outside to find happiness, I'm looking in the wrong place. It is not outside. I done told y'all about when I bought that Escalade. I thought I was going to be happy. Here comes the first note. Unhappy. Hell, I don't put myself in this higher than a damn house note. My house $500 a month. My damn car twice as high as the house. That ain't too happy. You know what I'm trying to say? Y'all women know, you're lonely. I'm tired of being by myself. You look outside for happiness. Now you lonely and unhappy. It ain't in him. It's in you. It's in you. Happiness and joy is the bliss of God that's inside of you. It's the I that's in me. The I am that's in me is the God in me. It's not out there. I help you out. I'm going to go down to Florida to find me some happiness and get on the beach and enjoy myself. Go down there and get a water, damn snake, shark bite your damn leg. How happy was that? You know what I'm saying? Get on the airplane. How happy is that? You cannot find no happiness outside of you. Trust me. Trust me. If you look at it and finding other people, it's 7 billion people on earth. Try them all. See how happy you be. It's not there. It's an inside thing. They say we pray about it. That means we have to consult God that's inside of us. Having the other one's happiness uppermost in mind. Keep it always in sight that we are dealing with that most terrible human emotion, jealousy. Jealousy comes from outside you. Outside situation. Paying attention to outside situation. Letting the melodrama in your mind create scenarios that might not even be true. Your girlfriend tells you, this is a little scenario, that she went to work in an office building, and her ex-boyfriend, the one you didn't like, was on the elevator. He worked on the 10th floor, she works on the 8th floor. She told you that. I don't know why she told you, but she did. You've been calling her every day for the last year around 1:15, right when she get back from lunch. And she been answering the phone. You didn't know her boyfriend was on the 10th floor. After you found that information out, the next day you call at 1:15 right after lunch, she don't answer the phone. Because she's in the boss's office having a meeting that started at 1 to 2. So you had 45 minutes to keep calling the phone, and she didn't answer. Your melodrama in your mind doesn't start clinging. She with that man. I know he on that 10th floor. They done went to lunch. He done bought her lunch. She been complaining about me not buying her lunch, and she out there giggling with him. All this stuff starts, now you got this melodrama going on, the created jealousy. When she finally get back on the phone, I know you were with him. She handed the phone over to the boss and said, we was in a meeting. Now you don't create some mess up there too. We was in a meeting. And you don't even feel like a fool. You feel satisfied. And I ain't jealous no more. That's just for that day now. The next day is back on. That's outside you. What about if you had some kind of peace inside that say, you know what, no matter what, I'm not going to give up my happiness. Mine, shut up. There's a number of thoughts anyway. You're like cars going up and down the highway. You don't pay attention to every car that passes. Why you got to pay attention to every thought that comes in your mind? Let it go up and down. Good generalship may decide that the problem be attacked on the flank rather than risk face-to-face combat. That's what happened there, face-to-face combat. Go ahead.
If we have no such complication, there is plenty we should do at home. Sometimes we hear an alcoholic say that the only thing he needs to do is keep sober. Certainly he must keep sober. There will be no home if he doesn't. But he is yet a long way from making good to the wife or parents whom for years he has so shockingly treated. Passing all understanding is the patience mothers and wives have had with alcoholics. Had this not been so, many of us would have no homes today or would perhaps be dead.
All right, this is going to hit home. If we had no such complication, we don't have to worry about all this relationships and all this kind of stuff. There's plenty we should do at home. Sometimes we hear an alcoholic say, and I hear this all the time. Sometimes we hear an alcoholic or an addict say that the only thing he needs to do is to keep sober. Just don't do no dope. Just don't drink. Just don't pick up. The only thing you got to do. Certainly, he must keep sober. But there'll be no home if he doesn't stay clean. But he is yet a long way from making good to the wife or parents whom for years he has so shockingly, shockingly means very bad or highly disturbed emotionally treated. So you have very badly treated people. You're a long way from making good. The only way you can make good about any situation is to first thing, drop the thinking that all you got to do is just don't do no dope. just don't pick up. There's far more work that you're going to have to do on yourself than that. Sobriety is the first miracle in recovery. Just staying clean and sober. There are millions of miracles after that. That's not good enough. Just don't do dope. I got some specialists in that one. I seen a guy that I know for 15 years. He still got that beginner rucksack on his back. You know when you first come in recovery and you live in that treatment and you ain't got no home and you running from place to place with that rucksack on your back. He got, with all your belongings in it like you homeless, but you ain't. Because you're in treatment or a 3/4 house. Just don't do no dope. 15 years ago, he still got that backpack on running me. Just don't do no dope. Where you live? Oh, I'm at Salvation Honor. I'm at this treatment house. It's more than that, y'all. It's way more than that. You're a long way from making good. To the wife or parents of whom you have so shockingly treated. We have been so mentally messed up, so spiritually messed up, so physically messed up. Do you think if I just stop drinking and put the alcohol down that stuff have changed? No. My thinking is the same. My behaviors is the same. You might fool somebody for a short period of time, but you're not fooling nobody. You can go home if you want to. The locket full of defects. The suitcase full of defects. Go home if you want to. The only thing you're going to do is be there, a week and then unpack. And then you back off, you're using again. It's so much more. Passing all understanding is the patience mothers and wives have had, and I'll say children too, have had with alcoholics. Had this not been so, many of us would have no homes today, would perhaps be dead. I can honestly tell you about me. I can tell you about Cousin Ron too, my cousin. I know for a fact that when we were using, our mothers had prayer groups that would sit around and pray for the addicts in the family. Because we wasn't the type of addict or alcoholic that drank and maintained homes and jobs. We wasn't that type. Our family member wasn't like that. If you start drinking and drugging, you homeless or dead or jail. They were praying that you stay in jail. Because nobody wanted that phone call to say that you dead. And I'm not talking about a prayer group for a few months. They did it for 10, 15 years for us. 10, 15 years. And when we did get clean and sober, them same homes was there for us. Now, I've been through that experience, so I know about that one. Now, my first wife wasn't up with that at all. She put up with that shit about 1 year on the crack and said, you got to go. So, she ain't on that list. She did me a favor though, telling me to get the hell on. But she ain't on this one. Alright. Go ahead.
The alcoholic is like a tornado roaring his way through the lives of others. Hearts are broken, sweet relationships are dead, affections have been uprooted. Selfish and inconsiderate habits have kept the home in turmoil. We feel the man is unthinking when he says that sobriety is enough. He is like the farmer who came up out of his cyclone cellar to find his home ruined. To his wife he remarked, don't see anything the matter here. Ain't it grand the wind stopped blowing?
Alright, this is deep. This is what I try to portray, and not in an embarrassing way. When people kind of leave treatment too soon, thinking that they can re-enter back into society, and they haven't worked on themselves, this paragraph fits them. 100%. Alright. Am I wrong? The alcoholic or addict is like a tornado roaring his way through the lives of others. You know, earlier in the book it said that we were like a riot, run wild or something like that. Like a riot. You know what they self-will run wild? Run riot. A riot when people start looting and burning and tearing up this place, right? Their own properties. You live right here, the corner store right there, you've been shopping and now you got this riot mentality, let me go burn it down. Well, that's what riots is. They got a cause that they're angry about and they respond to it. They say that we were like that. We didn't need no other people to help us. That's what we did. Alright? We were like a riot. And then they go here and say that alcoholics are like a tornado rolling its way through the lives of others. When a tornado leaves, it tear up some stuff. It tear up, demolish stuff. You know, run stuff, tear everything up. The houses are gone, the roofs off of them, the windows are shattered, everything gone. That's what they say that we are. The alcohol like a tornado rolling its way through the lives of others. Hearts are broken. Sweet relationships are dead. We done broke people's hearts. We done tore up relationships. We done killed them. We tear them up to kill them. We buried them. Dead. Don't exist anymore. Affections have been uprooted. Selfish and inconsiderate habits have kept the home kept the home in turmoil. Just kept it all turmoil. Just messed up. Because we're selfish and inconsiderate. Selfish because we don't want to work on ourselves. We only think about ourselves. Inconsiderate is to return back to them when we haven't done no work on ourselves. That's inconsiderate. Very inconsiderate. I'm going home because they need me to get a job to help pay that. But I ain't got no damn high school diploma. Uneducated. Am I right? Right. Felony from here to Mexico. 3 pair of shoes, ain't paid rent in 4 damn years. Ain't never had a steady job. How I'm gonna go home and help? Maybe I'm going home to let them help me. Because it makes no sense. I have not done no work on me. I still got probation and parole. What I gonna go home and say, here baby, can you give me $25 to take to my parole officer? This is some serious stuff that you taking back to these people. That means God's a lie. God put you here, you want to be there. That's what these places are for, so you can get your life together. I took advantage of it. That's why I got 21 years clean. There were many times they wanted me to leave. I looked outside, I had nowhere to go. I correct myself, what y'all want me to do? I started to tell them damn do it. I had nowhere to go. Where the hell I'm going? I ain't had no house, I ain't own nothing, I ain't had no job. Shit, I do that. St. Jude said, we're going to throw you out if you don't change. I said, no, y'all not. I'm changing right now. You don't have to say to throw you out no more. Man, I had nowhere to go. I was homeless. See, I had to be frankly honest with myself. I was still a homeless man, and because I had nothing going for me. You know what I'm saying? So why would I go there and leave? Leave to what? Where am I going? Keep your ass where you belong. Okay. It said right here. Wow. We feel that man is unthinking. Unthinking means inconsiderate. Look it up in the dictionary. Inconsiderate. When he says sobriety is enough. Sobriety ain't enough about nothing. You just sober. But your life is drunk. He is like the farmer who came up out of his cellar, that cyclone cellar under the ground, and found that his home was ruined, everything gone, the chicken gone, the pig gone, the corn he had trampled on. And the house ain't got no roof, no window, nothing. It's all tore up. He looked at his wife. Said, don't see anything the matter here, Mom. Ain't it grand? The wind stopped blowing. That's inconsiderate. She said, hell no, it ain't grand. What we gonna sleep tonight? What a pig? What we gonna eat? Ain't nothing cute about this.
But he sound like me.
Yeah. He sound like all of
just
us.
like me.
I think it's good. I'm home.
I'm clean.
Thank y'all for a good meeting.